Good day, YouTube. Somebody asked me, Lewis wanted me to talk about how to stay in the military, specifically the Air Force, long term, in the sense where you are valuable to the Air Force, and more importantly, that you are enjoying yourself as an individual, enjoying what you do, your job, your career, which is a lot bigger than one as an individual. Joining the Air Force or military in general is one of those things that I've talked about, that it's a bigger thing than us as individuals. It's a team. It's serving our nation. It's doing great things. And it also involves doing things that we don't want to do sometimes, whether it's a location or whether it's a job. How to make yourself valuable so the military or the Air Force wants you to continue to serve. First of all, it's one of those things that they definitely want to retain the people that they train, the people that they bring in, because it costs money to do that. The goal of the Air Force is to recruit, train, and retain these people. The reason he asked this question maybe is because I've mentioned how in the past there was a reduction in force in the Air Force, which meant that I had to leave active duty because there was too many officers at that time. That does happen once in a while, here and there, but it is not the norm. So as long as you're doing a solid job, your reputation is good, your performance reports, whether you are enlisted or officer, are good, the Air Force and other branches as well are going to know that they have quality people that they want to continue serving. So your performance report is very important. Also, one of the things that I'd like to challenge anyone watching this is to not only make the military a long-term commitment, if that's what this person you want to do. Some of you will, some of you won't. It's not for everyone. But more importantly is the satisfaction that you get as an individual. I'll give you an example. I wanted to come in as a firefighter when I joined the Air Force in 1996, and I came in open general, enlisted, and I got the job that I wanted. I got the firefighter job. I enjoyed it. Long term, I knew it wasn't something I wanted to do for the rest of my career. And that's the good thing is, in the Air Force, for sure, if you come in enlisted, there is the option of retraining as long as you are a first-term airman. It's a lot easier when you are first-term. Once you are career status, which means you've re-enlisted, not extended, but re-enlisted, it can still happen. However, it's going to be more difficult, at least from what I have seen. So I talked to my fire chief one time, and I said, I'd like to continue serving in the Air Force if I can retrain. And if the answer is no, then I'm going to get out. Luckily, I was able to retrain. So when you are serving, do a good job. Your performance reports should reflect that. Keep your eyes open for opportunity as well. So not only are you being retained in the Air Force or the military, but at the same time, your job satisfaction is there because you have to make it good for yourself as well. If that's the case, it's a win-win situation. Let me talk about reduction in forces. That happens once in a while. Not that common. But of course, when it does happen, the people with bad records or mediocre records are going to be the ones that go out first, in the sense that their leadership are going to say, yes, we can retain this person, but if I have to select who do I want to retain, this person A or person B, they're going to say, let's select the individual for continuation of service that has the better record, that brings more to the team. Making it long-term it's one of those things that you have to know your job first and foremost, because if you know your job in and out, that's what the military or the Air Force pays you to do, is they train you, and then you have to know your job as well. Like I said, reduction in forces, drawdowns happen, but not often. The good news is if it does happen and it's your time, then prepare yourself with training, education, experience, so the next chapter of your life, wherever that may be, is something that you are ready to go, as opposed to the individual that is told you have to leave the service, and they are not prepared financially, educationally, maybe experience-wise. And then the other good news is that if you do have to leave active duty for whatever reason, a reduction in force example is you have the guard and the reserve option, and they will be knocking at your door saying, Do you want to come with us? Or I had the opportunity of going from blue to green, which is Air Force to Army. But I had decided, you know what, I just want to stay Air Force, even if it's part-time and it's something that I decided to join the Air Force in the first place, and that's something I'm very happy that I did. There's nothing wrong for the individual. I've had friends that go from blue to green, from Air Force to Army. There's an individual that I'm currently working with right now, don't know him too well, but he is going to leave the Air Force and go straight into active duty Army, because that's something that works for him and his family. So it can work out for some individuals as well. Long-term career, how do you make that happen? Know your job inside out, grow. Your performance reports should reflect that. You should have leadership opportunities. If you are enlisted or officer, people do pay attention to you. Just because you have your name here, people still recognize you when you are out of uniform. And they're going to say, this person, he or she's reputation is solid, or it's not solid. And the better that you do, your leadership, if you have good leadership, are going to endorse you, recommend you, and support you with whatever it is that you want to. Good question, Louis. Thanks for bringing it up. Take care.